we're a pretty
all good.
we're pretty late. But all right, everybody, if you've been here before, you know what we're doing next. If you haven't, open up. Oh, sorry, no, I'm opening up. Goodness gracious. I'm opening up the Remarks app so I can get that timer that I mentioned going, the time code. Grab your remote, have your thumb on the play button, but do not press it. We're going to do that at the same time right now on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
John, do you need my bird to like start yelling so she could wake you up?
What's that?
Do you need my bird to start yelling so that she can wake you up?
No, I'm good. I'm all right there.
I remember VHS tapes. Wow, look at all the. Hey, Nick Holmes. Hello.
What up, Nick?
What are all of those VHSs?
John, Nick's down in the audience.
John, Nick's here.
Everybody's so upset.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi.
Morning, Nick.
Good morning, Nick.
Good morning, Nick.
Hello. This is like us trying to get rid of
You know what
Gilmore
episode?
girls.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good. This is just like us trying to get rid of Gilmore Girls on DVD. Like, we don't need it, but we might.
I don't know, guys. I have a box full of VHS tapes that I'm never getting rid of either. This is very much
Same here. I've had them since the 80s and 90s. I keep.
Yeah, I still have my original Star Wars on VHS somewhere, although some of it might not be as good quality as it originally was because I watched it.
We bought a machine that takes the VHS and burns it to a DVD. So I still have all of the commercials, but it's in a better form.
You literally need it. You need them for the commercials that you taped off TV. It's enough.
Is she getting rid of all of her VHS because she got a DVD player? What's going on here? I'm confused.
I think she's trying to pare down a little bit because they're
Yeah.
moving stuff.
Yeah, because
trying to
they're
make
expanding,
room
they're
for
getting
Luke
rid of
to move
rubbish. Yeah, she's trying to get rid of. He said that you wanted to do the remodel, and so he's like giving her crap for not paring down stuff.
Got it. Wow. So she has that many VHS.
Are we on episode 5 or 6?
We're on
Four.
episode
Yeah,
we're on episode
4.
4. That was a mistake. For whatever reason, the room won't change its name. I did edit the name.
And time code?
Time code is 3 minutes and 6 seconds. So what about the retarded sister line?
Oh boy, did not age well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
we
they've used it
know.
many times. Yeah, it's not the first time they've used that.
It's just interesting. Yeah, they've thrown that word around a lot. And it just 20 years later, we don't use that word. So I
TV
just
shows
need to bring it.
love that word, especially early 2000s. Like,
Yeah,
it's in pretty much
90s.
every single show.
And the 90s.
Oh, and the
What,
90s definitely.
Well,
what is Rory wearing?
Candy
She's a
striper.
candy striper.
Candy striper.
But that was riding the bus with my sister, so I'm wondering if like the marketing actually used the word at the time. I don't remember.
Hey, just saw your name, John. So you are in this.
I am in this episode. So if this is the one where we come back, then I have a not big story, but just a little anecdote.
Yeah, Ben's back from tour.
So is she working in a hospital or something?
Community service
Yeah.
still, she's still doing that community service. hours.
$300. I guess Esperanza is on the out, and this is the new Esperanza.
This was the second made after her. There was one in between them, a dark-haired one.
Oh, was
Kind
there?
of looks like Paris a little bit, like an older.
I would find this so annoying. So, don't touch my toes.
Why does she have to get rid of anything? She has like a huge closet.
It's an Emily thing.
She's supposed to be switching out things in her closet for like the autumn and
Oh,
winter
the season.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
seasonal.
I find it very interesting the gradual decline into Rory, like stopping treating the maids as people and is now like bellowing maid.
She probably doesn't know her name because she's done. Emily probably doesn't tell her their name, so she don't talk to them.
God forbid that happens again.
Is this the first time we hear anything about Suki's family?
I think she might mention her mother at one point, but not
Yeah,
very.
with the risotto, but like I think that's all.
Yeah, I think you're right. This is me trying to do any amount of math.
Same.
Instant migraine.
I have the opposite issue. I make math problems out of everything I see that has numbers on it.
Really?
Yeah, it's a weird quirk of mine.
Family party would stress most people out, but Suki's just so excited to go.
What constitutes a late summer salad?
Probably the vegetables or fruits you put in it. Yeah.
Late vine tomatoes, in my opinion.
It's the same jacket that she was wearing in the end of last episode when she was being brought into the DAR. Do they have like uniforms?
Maybe that's all she has, a special for DAR right now.
Her fringe is just so horrible in this. I can't stand it.
It is a little unusual.
I love how the phone and the garnish are in the same pocket.
I think that's just her milk.
Ugh.
I know. I hate
Yeah.
when she talks to people.
Yeah, this is tough. Yeah, this sort of against the whole community service stuff that she was doing yesterday is starting to change my perception of this whole new Rory.
Yeah, see,
Good.
when you ask the question, why?
Who
do
said
you
good?
like this?
I did. Rory's not
When you
one of my
ask-
favorites.
When you ask. the
There
question,
is
why
a
do you
lot of
like
pearls in this
season,
room.
It's not just because the Lorelai Rory stuff. I hate this part of it, but I couldn't say that yesterday.
It's just still weird to me that this English woman is a part of the DAR.
I liked the theory someone said yesterday that she was probably educated in England because that's a very rich person thing to do.
Don't forget to harvest.
Yeah, but if she was educated in England, she might have that accent, or she might have an accent, but not quite as authentic as that. You know, the Americans who live abroad or live in the UK, like they don't quite have the exact authentic accent. It sounds a little put on.
I was gonna note that there are pockets in this like skirt. Jeans.
We love things having pockets.
Absolutely.
I like Logan's shirt.
He looks like he should be working in mechanics or something. Just I don't know. There's just a look about him right now.
I feel like I've seen Brian in a shirt like that.
That's a very Brian shirt.
He looks very
He stole
dumb.
It's
Brian's
also a very
shirt.
John shirt. I would wear a shirt like that.
Does not look like Logan. Like it doesn't fit well.
He just looks like off. He's not how he's usually dressed.
Yes.
Is it possible
I
that he
think
went,
that's
that
the point.
is it possible that Matt went into my trailer and actually grabbed
Yes.
my
Yeah.
my
Or maybe
the-
he just had those on before the shoot.
That shirt is nowhere near tight enough to be a Brian polo.
No, that would you'd be swimming in that shirt if it was.
Yeah,
yours.
you're right. That is true.
That
is
definitely
true.
just seems like Matt Zuckery 2000s, his own wardrobe.
I think
Yeah,
the point
it's
is
not
that he's
quite
not supposed to look
it's-
like youthful Logan.
It's
think
not
he's
quite
supposed to look
spandexy
chubby.
enough to be a Brian shirt.
Did you catch that bit of Rory, John?
I didn't. What'd she say?
She's stomping around screaming, "There's no coffee! Someone make some coffee now!"
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
This
Well,
is a
she's
world
just
that
turning into Emily.
This always makes me think that Shira Huntsberger was also right about, or like Rory's trying to fit the role that Shira wanted her to play, like the housewife instead of the career woman.
I didn't read that. I was trying to read that. What is that? What did that say?
Riding the bus with my sis.
Oh,
It's that movie that they run.
it's the movie.
The movie she's saving to watch with Rory.
It's got Rosie O'Donnell in it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I hear it's a really
Sure
good
does.
movie. I've never seen it, but
It was
I
based
hear
on a memoir.
It is a really good movie. I have seen it.
Oh boy.
I could see how this season's for me. This season's really an enjoyable story. I'm really getting into this whole story, but I could see how this season wouldn't be an enjoyable revisit for people who really are into the world of Gilmore Girls because of this whole rift between them.
I don't think it's a bad season. It's just like uncomfortable.
it's not just the rift that bothers me. I don't like Rory's like fakeness when she's
I'm
with
trying to
DAR. Like, it
propose.
drives me nuts.
I was on set visiting Tank when they were shooting this, and everyone was in a really good mood. That's what I remember.
Oh, that's cute. I think this, you kind of get that in this scene. It seems like a very bantery, enjoyable moment. You're the only one who can save me. I'm not from the Netherlands, but I know quite a few people who are, and English is basically a compulsory
the English-
subject.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no, yeah.
Veronica.
Oh, Veronica.
Hey guys, don't
Veronica.
forget to harvest because we were late getting started, so harvest is.
Make sure that you harvest.
But yeah, pretty much everyone in the Netherlands speaks at least basic English.
So clearly the costumes for this were they've started to say like, hey, we're gonna get these guys just looking like just normal guys. We're not gonna play up the Harvard the Yale privileged rich guys thing, because they're all just sort of dressed like normal dudes.
Make them more relatable with a polo shirt. I love that. Nailed the furniture to the floor.
Uh-oh. Is Bo back?
Mm. You could say Bo is back with a vengeance.
So awkward.
Oh God.
Those used to be my initials, and I'm uncomfortable.
Nick Offerman is a really cool cat.
Oh, I bet.
He seems it.
Where's Regina? Dirty. She's here. She is in the audience.
I wish Rune was here. That would have just put it over the top.
I really, really want
Ugh.
to hate Joe, but
Ugh.
like
Yeah.
Offerman is so funny, it's hard to.
It's hilarious, but
Also,
it's
that's
so
a really
awful.
small bag for 3 days.
Ryan.
I love this.
Wait a second.
That's a nice little plate of 3
Did
fries.
we
you
already
got.
arrive home?
Oh,
I
we
guess
saw you
you're just
driving back
there.
to Stars Hollow.
Wait, there's no.
Maybe they cut the scene that you're thinking of.
But I saw the scene in the actual episode. I remember watching that.
What happened in the scene?
We arrive back and we go into Luke's and he gives us donuts and we all grab a donut and eat it because we're so hungry.
I've never seen that in my life.
Yeah,
I don't
me
know
either.
that scene.
Yeah,
Maybe
they must have
Maybe
cut
they cut
it.
that out.
They edited that out because it was offensive.
This damn
Donut
really
to
big
waffles.
donut.
Oh my goodness. I'll talk about that afterwards then. Interesting.
Is that why you have such loving memories of the donut stuff?
Yes. Well, they're not loving actually.
Just
Oh.
so
You said
you
they were
know,
so good.
just so you know, that little melody that Zach was just singing gets stuck in Gilmore Girls fans' heads all the time.
Oh, I'm gonna be humming that for the rest of the day.
It's a big.
It's your butt, Luke. Uh-huh. Is that an actual Luke's mug behind Scott there? Oh, okay, we're not going to see it anymore, but I think it said Luke's on it.
It wouldn't surprise me because by this time they know it's a hit and there's probably merch.
Middle shelf, second from the left.
Yeah, I think it is.
Oh, yeah, I
I'm
think it
so
is.
obsessed with this mug now.
Oh my gosh, yeah. They cut that scene where we come in and eat donuts.
That's
Yeah, when you
devastating.
kept mentioning that.
Oh my gosh, you guys
when
annoy me
kept
so much
mentioning
here.
their return home, I was confused because we never actually saw it. So
Both of you, I can't handle it. Me too.
And this is exactly why Lane didn't tell them for months.
Like feeling around in someone's underwear drawer is worse than looking, right?
Poor Elaine.
Oh no.
It's a really good scene. That's a
An
really
excellent
good scene.
scene.
The banter and the dialogue is really tight.
And just the scream on Keiko is hysterical.
Yeah, it's really well. That scene was really well written.
Keiko's also a really good songwriter in real life.
Oh,
Ooh,
Suki has such good intentions, though.
I love they squeezed in a Susan Power reference.
I was thinking that too.
What was her thing? If you can't say it, don't. If you can't pronounce it, don't eat it. Something like that.
I think so. It's been a long time since I even heard her name.
Stop the insanity.
Logan looks dead. Sorry, that shot of him, he just looked dead.
he sleeps in a very, very, upright fashion. His head is quite high.
Those pillows are literally upwards. They're not even laying down.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe that's the way that the rich sleep.
Maybe he also has a deviated septum.
I love that parallel so much.
The music store back there, or that should be this is the street where the music store is on, whether they're trying to make it look like that or not. But
Wait, Did Roy
Yeah,
get a new
that's the-
car? 'Cause she got a Prius originally, so like what? I don't know why I just noticed this.
That looked more like a Prius.
She had the original
The-
Prius, which did look like that. It's a couple years.
Oh, is that what they look like?
Yeah.
Oh. I'm a
Oh, I have an anecdote for this scene too.
Doesn't involve donuts.
It's my imitation of the Godfather of Marlon Brando.
I really dislike that dress that Rory's wearing.
But it looks good with a baby. You nailed that.
Nailed it.
I actually don't nail it. So I did 3 takes of it, and the first 2 takes were amazing. That was the take they took, which wasn't that good. And afterwards, Zach walked over, or Todd walked over to me and said, "Not as good as not as good as the first 2, man." And I was
Oh,
like,
wow.
"Thanks." But he was right. I really just like whatever happened. It didn't sound as good as the first one, as the first.
John, do you think that Brian thought that they weren't having sex, or do you think that he went along with it and thought that they?
That's a good question. I'm gonna say that I think that Brian probably thought that they were.
Do you think they like kick Brian out once a week for an hour or 2 to kind of pretend that they're having sex to keep up the illusion?
Yeah, probably. Also keeps costs down for production to not have to hire me for those episodes.
Those fringe benefits. That sounds like a lot of work.
Hey, she's making a good point here.
Lynn is an
know,
excellent
you-
friend.
The universe has to balance these things.
How are the bells ringing? I thought Luke and Lorelai broke them again.
That actually didn't land on me for like a few seconds.
It's early for you. It's okay.
I think the bells you can do it like manually, but before they were doing like automatic.
My former mother.
Luke suggested the green dress and Lorelai went with the opposite.
Oh boy.
Ugh, that feeling, you can feel it. You can
Oh.
feel that.
Your stomach just churns. Also, I know I've already
It's
said
not really
this
from my
this season,
stomach.
but
That's a little
Lorelai's
more
hair.
of the heart pain. That's not the stomach pain. That's a little more the heart.
was more watching it. My stomach like tenses, like oh, I feel that in my gut.
Ouch, my emotions.
Exactly.
I love how hard Suki is trying to get them to be nice.
Oof.
Uh-huh.
Very good way to look at life. What did Lorelai just notice?
Do you have to eat? Do you have to be of that religion to be a godparent?
It depends on
No.
the scenario, yeah.
The Catholics are a little more specific than everyone else.
So are the Episcopalians. At least one of their godparents has to be Episcopalian.
What's with all the change that just fell out of his pants?
Oh my God, I love his outfit.
Wait, does that mean he like robbed the collection plate or something?
Oh, good point.
The longer that Rory and Lorelai go with this, this sort of rift between them, the harder it is for them to come together.
As is with
I mean, not that that's like, any sort of like enlightening information. I'm just sort of pointing out that it's feeling like the further we get into the season, the harder this is for the audience, I think.
Correct.
Absolutely. So the longer you're apart, it's like, what do you even talk about? Well, you don't know what's going on in each other's lives.
That baby in Roy's arm was looking straight at somebody.
how much would you
What
guys
was-
hate me if I put a trivia question in that where you had to know the order of that kid's name?
I thought Martha also had Colgate in her name.
Lorelai's necklace is now for Tegan.
Yeah, I was just gonna
I'm just
say the
chewing them.
beads would make me nervous with the baby.
Oh, I forgot about this.
Oh, she's thinking about the phone being disconnected.
You just take off with the
Oh,
babies.
no.
People really don't get new numbers, do they?
No, not at all.
No.
I have the
I've had
same number
same
that I've
number.
I've had for the last 21
My
years.
mom got like 3 or 4 different phone numbers for some reason every time she got a new phone. But that's just
I've had the same cell phone number since 2004.
Yeah, same. I got
My
my phone
grandma-
in 2000.
my grandma let me know memorize her number when I was like a little kid, and it's still the same.
I think with how angry Lorelai was about the number, you have to think about the fact that she was calling Rory because she missed her and wanted to talk about the movie she was saving. She was literally giving in. So that must have been so much more devastating because of that.
Agreed.
Oh, he's vile.
Of course, he's wearing a fedora.
This character is based on me in real life.
You know, I can see it.
Oh my goodness.
Is that why you were on set to be consulting with him?
Yes.
It was his fedora. He let him borrow.
Ooh, man, they are not letting in.
It makes me think of a scene, I think it's in season 2, where they're in a little fight. Oh, what was it over? I can't remember, but Rory's ranting to Dean saying, oh, she's so stubborn, and Dean just goes quiet because he doesn't want to say, well, you are too. And then he eventually says, you
Yeah.
both have a tendency to just dig your heels in.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's it. It's literally the physical embodiment of them just digging their heels in. They won't
Yes,
budge.
yes. You sound like a Team Dean fan there, Lee.
Oh, John.
No, I'm kidding.
Yep. How dare you?
I remember that it was damn, she is so stubborn.
Yes.
Oh, to be rich privilege.
Man, that is some privilege.
Oh, look at Paul Anka holding her leg.
That pizza, just a huge pizza, only half eaten. I never realized the sort of the role that Paul Anka played in this. I
Yeah.
always sort of thought of Paul Anka as just this like fun thing that like comes into the show. I never really thought much more of it. I just knew there's a dog. It's called Paul Anka and it's in the show. But Paul Anka is like Rory's replacement.
Yep. He's a substitute
Yep.
child.
She needed something to take care of.
Oh my goodness. This is so sad. All right, we're gonna dive right in. So everyone, if you could help me out and bring yourselves down to the bean bags, and then I will do the old couch shuffle again. We'll open up the couch and people will. Oh, Nick, do not. You stay with me, Nick.
I just realized what the next episode is. Amazing.
Nick, don't drop yourself down.
I don't even know how to do that if I wanted to.
Okay, good. Nikki, did you fall asleep? Nikki fell asleep.
It won't let me. I keep pressing my avatar and it's not coming up with the options. I can't.
All right,
I can't get down.
I'm dropping you down. Nick, do you like season 6?
Yes, I do. I don't like it as much as 5. But I hate that the rift between those two. It really is like every episode where they won't look at each other, just like you're so invested at this point, it hurts, you know, like it
I know, but I mean, don't get me wrong, it hurts, but I mean, I'm on this ride and I'm enjoying all of the emotional ups and downs. And this obviously is like a really this is really big emotional roller coaster stuff here. So I feel like, you know, this is the most intense part of the ride of the full so far, like of the entire series. This is the most intense part of the roller coaster. And I guess I can understand how if you wanted to return and rewatch the show and live in the world of Stars Hollow, that you probably wouldn't want to spend that much time on the most intense part of the roller coaster. But for a first-time viewer, I have to say I'm really into this. Like, I'm really into this story for season 6. And as of right now, it's shaping up to be a pretty high up there season for me. I don't want to say might be my favorite season, but you know, we're only a couple episodes in, and so far I've been like absolutely locked on. It's probably the quietest that I've been, you know, throughout our series watch is these past few episodes.
I like how also Emily and Lorelai's relationship sort of shifts a bit, and I like the return of Christopher and that whole element. And have we gotten to that? No spoilers. Sorry.
Yeah, I only know these 4 episodes of the series. We'll talk about this afterwards, but I just want to say I cannot believe that they cut the scene with us arriving back to Stars Hollow. I could have swore that it was in last episode, like last episode is when we arrive back, and I thought that was when we arrive. In fact, there's a scene in Luke's diner like later in the episode that between, I can't remember who it was between, but it was like Luke's in there, and I think that our scene actually was part of that like the person left, he closed the door, and then a few seconds later the band like you know, stumbles in, and we're like starving, and he gives us the thing of donuts, and we start eating it, and I ate. And the reason why I know absolutely 100% that we shot that happened, and that it's not Mandela effect that it didn't happen, is that I got really nauseous because we shot it a bunch of times, which is hilarious also that they spent so much time trying to get that scene right and they never even put it in the episode. We shot it a bunch of times, and in true John Cabrera form, I ate the donut every single time and got completely sick.
Free donut, man. You can't be blamed.
Yeah.